is Alexander. Shabbat for three. Bingo!
Carter will get it for the win. Got it! He is hard to believe.
Here's Jordan.
Yes! The Magic, a 360 turn with the dribble. Magic down the middle. Gives underneath to Worthy. Slammed up.
Third in the corner. Double fake.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dime Dropper 2022 NBA playoff post-game recaps here in the conference finals and possibly the last recap of the conference finals. It's my sister's birthday today. Happy birthday to my sister, and we're celebrating it tomorrow. So I probably won't be able to go live after game 6, which is really unfortunate. I'll see what I can do, but it's probably the end. I probably won't be able to go live. Maybe an Instagram live after the game, but this will be my last live for sure for the conference playoffs. And thankfully, we have a conference champion to talk about with the Golden State Warriors defeating the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5. Before we get started, though, I'm going to talk about the Heat and the Celtics first because I didn't get to go live last night. But before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And if you're on Facebook, which I don't know if many of you guys are these days, give us a like. But also make sure to comment and turn on the notification bell to know when I'm going live or posting any video of any sort. And make sure to leave a comment for the algorithms after the video is over. And if you're in the chat right now, tap in, throw some comments in there. Let's get going. So Celtics and the Heat last night, it was a slugfest. It was a slow game. Robert Williams and Marcus Smart and Al Horford all played for the first time, I believe, in the series. Obviously, it was, I think, Marcus Smart. Was it that missed game 4? Yeah, it was. Marcus Smart missed game 4. He was back. For the Heat, they still didn't have Tyler Hero, and boy, did they miss him. But very, very defensive game to start. And it was the first quarter was 19-17. Miami by 2. Jimmy Butler missed a layup early on in the game, and that would be a theme for the rest of the night. He could not get many easy looks at all. He clearly did not look 100%. But you know what I always say, I keep it consistent with players. If you're healthy enough to be out there, you're going to have the excuses. You can maybe not play as well as you always do, but it goes out the window. He's missing layups. He was airballing mid-ranges by the second half. And the Celtics did a really good job of only leaving guys that are capable of guarding him on him. And, Jimmy against really elite defenders, he kind of does struggle to get good shots off. He's not the quickest in the world, but he did lose a step for sure with the injury. He's not the quickest in the world, but he is good at getting to the basket. However, his jump shot can still be a little bit suspect, and he doesn't create too much separation. Doesn't have too shifty of a handle. And then without Tyler Hero, they really lacked shot creation all night long. Even though what's funny is that they led by 5 going into halftime, but the Boston Celtics turned up on them in the second half. And what was really interesting was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were not shooting the ball well by the end of the first half. But they were only down by 5 points, 37, or they were only down by 7. I think it was, 37-42. They only down by 5. So you knew that if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum start getting going, they're going to be, the Heat are going to be in big trouble. And that's exactly what ended up happening. It was led by Jaylen Brown, but both of them got going. But Jaylen Brown started hitting threes, step backs. He was in his bag. And yesterday really showed why this series was picked by many people the way it was. Boston Celtics in 6 games, because the Celtics just have 2 high-level scorers or elite shot creators that can create their own shot one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? They can get the best defenders in the league, and they're still going to be able to get good shots. I don't know if I can say that about anybody on the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler's a fantastic player. He'll still get you 20, but his impact is a little bit more all around. In terms of scoring, they lack that number 1 scorer on most championship teams. Bam Adebayo, after an incredible Game 3, has reverted back to a guy that does not look like he's a star, doesn't feel like he's a star. He plays like a role player, doesn't ask for the ball. Again, last night, he actually did shoot 15 shots. He made 8 of them, 18 points and 10 rebounds, but not enough demanding the ball, especially if you're shooting that well. I wouldn't even have been able to tell watching the game. And then obviously Kyle Lowry, we also have to talk about. What happened with the Heat was they were generating a decent amount of good looks, but it was just three after three after three. Outside of Jimmy Butler, they don't seem to, and of course with Tyler Hero's not playing, they don't seem to get any different kinds of looks. They live and die by the three. We saw Duncan Robinson play for 28 minutes last night, and he had 11 points, but he shot 3 for 10 from deep. As a team, they were 7 for 45 from three. The Celtics, 10 for 33, so not that much better, but they had the flurry in the third quarter to score 32 points. That was the only quarter where a team scored 30. And it's funny because one of my friends called me before the game and asked me if I think if both teams will score over 100. And I looked at the series, every single team has scored 100 or more except for the Heat in game 4 when they got blown out. And then last night, neither team scored 100 points. So that was pretty funny. But the Celtics in the third quarter, Jason Tatum was starting to go to the post against guys like Strus, getting in the basket, being aggressive. Al Horford was doing his thing as usual, 5 for 8, 16 points. And Rob Williams doing a good job on Bam, 6 points, 10 boards, did his thing. But Jaylen Brown was really the star of the show last night in the second half. After a really cold first half, he had 25 points, 4 rebounds on 10 of 19 shooting, and 5 for 9 from deep. And then and we've seen that a lot from Jaylen Brown in these playoffs in the second half going off. And Jason Tatum, again, just showing why he's the best player in the series for me. I know Jimmy Butler got injured, and now Heat fans are going to always be able to use that. But I think this Heat team seriously lacks shot creation. And I think Kyle Lowry, I'm not going to forget about him, guys. Abysmal. Him and Max Strus have shot like what was, I don't know what the exact stat is, but it was like 1 for 30 or 2 for 33 or something in the last 2 games, or maybe like 1 for 19 or something like that. Kyle Lowry was 0 for 6 in game 5 with a donut. Max Strus was 0 for 9 with 4 points. So 2 consecutive games for Max Strudel. He doesn't have a field goal, which is really unacceptable for a guy who played very well in the games 1 and 3. And then Kyle Lowry, who was getting paid $30 million or close to it. I know it's only his third game back, but man, this has been a complete failure of a first season for him. If we're just going off regular season, this was fine. It was fine. But that's not what Miami Heat are playing for. And honestly, if we're being real, the Miami Heat have had a good season to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals and win 2 games. Even if they lose tomorrow, it's still been a great season. But the Miami Heat are an organization that is striving for a championship. And they're very close right now, and close isn't really going to cut it. So Kyle Lowry getting paid as much as he is and supposed to be the third star of this team, he hasn't performed in these playoffs. He's been injured. He looks fat. He looks slow. He doesn't look in shape. He's not aggressive. He just tries to come in and just try to foul bait, take charges. Yesterday he got in foul trouble, and he never got going. And for the second straight game, Raptors fans, and I really like the Raptors fans that follow me on Twitter and that are my subscribers. Like, I really fuck with you guys. But I know you guys like this guy a lot, but like y'all talk about him like he's so great. Like, he may be a Hall of Famer, maybe, because the NBA Hall of Fame is soft, but they're only soft to who they want to be. Marcus Johnson and Kevin Johnson because of off the court stuff. But Marcus Johnson has no reason not to be in the Hall of Fame. Gus Williams has no reason not to be in the Hall of Fame, and many other more. I can keep going. Walter Davis. So Kyle Lowry, I just think that there's other guys before him that I would consider, and I think he had plenty of postseason failures. And if he didn't play that one season with Kawhi Leonard, we may never talk about him the same way. And he would have maybe never gotten that swagger that he got for that 2020 season. And he's a really solid player for this era. I think it's pretty sad that he is the greatest Raptor of all time, just considering every other franchise's potential greatest player of all time is probably better than him at basketball. But that being said, the Raptors have had better players than Kyle Lowry too. It's just what it means to the franchise. And he has a ring, and my franchise doesn't. So you guys can clown me in the comments for that. But 0 points was not good enough. Kyle Lowry's first season in the Heat as a member of the Heat, not good enough to me because he didn't perform well in the playoffs. But Jimmy Butler, he doesn't go excuse-free either. He had a tough night. He was missing just routine shots. He doesn't get much elevation on his jumper as it is. So the fact that he couldn't really move as well definitely hurt, but still should have made some of the shots he made. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 for 18 shooting, and 1 for 5 from deep. I thought he was shooting still too many threes, and that's the second inefficient game for him in a row. The Heat only shot 32%. Gabe Vincent gave them 15 points off the bench on 6 for 12 shooting. Victor Oladipo was 1 for 7. And as I said, the backcourt to combine for 0 for 15. No good. And yeah, that's it. the Celtics win at 93-80. Their defense rides at home. They're going to have a chance in Game 6 in front of the Boston crowd to win and go back to the finals for the first time since 2010. I wonder if Larry Bird's going to be there to present his trophy. That would be hilarious. Oh my God. In Boston, imagine the scenes. Wow. But it's a special moment that the Celtics go back to the finals and meet the Warriors, which is a perfect segue to tonight's game. You knew the stakes. Dallas Mavericks had to get a win or they were done. But the Golden State Warriors came out ready to play. You know, in the beginning of the game, you saw the Dallas Mavericks. They weren't, when they start Dwight Powell, they don't switch on every screen. You see a lot of like showing and recovering. And the thing about the Dallas Mavericks is I'm not even just talking about on-ball screens. Off-ball, there's so many screens being set by this Warriors team. It's just so hard to guard them. You'll have off-ball screens being set on both sides of the court. I mean, this keeps your defense occupied. And when I watch the Warriors play, I actually kind of enjoy it because it's different than every other team. Not just the ball movement, but the movement without the ball. You've heard me talk about it so much if you listen to my shit, but it's just different than every other team. Every other team is so much more predictable, just variations of high pick and roll. And the Warriors are just so spontaneous with their movement. And everybody has adopted this into their skill set. You know, we always talk about Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, the way they've been moving without the ball this playoffs and this season, nothing short of spectacular. And you know what I always say about the best players, their tendencies and characteristics rub off on the rest of the team. And Steph Curry, you can see that. And Draymond Green, in his ways, you can see that as well. They defend, they communicate. And tonight, they had Luka having a very tough time. You know, in the first quarter, he made a couple of good plays, Luka. But as it went on, you saw him getting a little frustrated with the lack of calls he was getting from the officials. And I thought Steph Curry had a really solid start, just playmaking. You know when he's coming off screens, if you're not switching. And sometimes even when you switch, you can kind of back cut or he slips it very quickly before you fully switch on to him. But when you don't switch and you got to just, whoever is the screener guarding the screener that's setting a screen for Curry, he's got to step up a little bit to take away Curry's immediate look, even when he doesn't have the ball, even when he's coming off a screen off the ball, which always sends two defenders and opens it up for guys. And Steph makes great plays for other people. I remember, I think the first basket of the game tonight for the Warriors was a Steph to Looney play because Steph attracted two defenders. He finds Wiggins, Draymond. He was doing it all night. And I remember at the end of the first half, Steph Curry only had like 5 points. And I remember thinking, like, it does not feel like he only has 5 points because he had 7 assists. And obviously, as I say, his off-ball movement just creates so much. And it allows the Warriors to play this way. You know, I think when you talk about the Mavs and they play the way that they play and get the ball to Luka and kind of get out of the way all the time, that's because Luka hasn't shown to me any off-the-ball tendencies. And the way his body is kind of like, he has like the LeBron, I don't want to say the ripped build of him and the athletic chiseled build, but in terms of size, I bet you like their weight isn't that different. At least, you know, maybe when LeBron was young, for sure it wasn't that different because LeBron was thinner back then. But they have a similar sort of sense. They like to just kind of charge in from the top a little bit and use their strength in that way. Occasional post up. But off the ball, it's not like they can move. They're not, you know, like the Kobe. They're not like shooting guards like Devin Booker's or even the way Jason Tatum moves. He can kind of catch the ball on the move and work quickly. And Jaylen Brown to the same degree. But Luka and LeBron, they're kind of like more catch it, turn and face, survey. And I think that's part of why the Mavericks play the way that they do. The Warriors is different. Steph Curry is very quick with his decision-making. He's constantly trying to, you know, make a move. Doesn't waste much movement. And, you know, they follow suit. Klay Thompson, 8 points in the first quarter tonight, got off to a great start. And it was just, Kenny Smith said it before the game, it felt like a Klay Thompson game. And it was. 41-29 was the second quarter score in favor of Golden State. They started lighting up the Mavs because the Mavs couldn't stay in front of Jordan Poole and Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson was making tough shots. Like he had a couple contested threes. He had two transition threes. And Steph Curry, though, they're putting, just like the Warriors were putting, or the Mavs are trying to put Steph in the pick and roll a lot, as usual, as we've seen this series. And Steph was doing a really solid job of showing and recovering. And a couple of times, I remember there was one time early in the game, first quarter, when Wiggins was picking him up like about 60 feet away from the basket. and they were setting a screen at half court for Luka to try to get downhill, and Steph came up and hedged it hard, and Luka lost the ball, and Wiggins scored to make it 9-2. So just a great example of the Warriors putting pressure on Luka and not giving him anything easy, making him only go one-on-one against guys that can actually guard him. And somebody who came in and had a very unexpected, great impact tonight, the only other bench player besides Jordan Poole to play 20-plus minutes, Nemanja Bjelica, 5.6 rebounds and 3 assists. He had some really good defensive plays. I remember one time Wiggins ran somebody off the line, and then Bjelica came and helped him as the guy got by him. And then Bjelica also had some good defensive possessions on Luka, where the Warriors, I was kind of surprised they let him switch on to Luka, and he moved his feet well. And look at Bjelica's body. He kind of has a very similar build to Luka, so he can't get overpowered. As long as he stays with him laterally, he's okay, and he did a decent job of that. And there were a couple times Luka was going at him in the mid-post area where he couldn't create as much downhill momentum. So Nemanja was able to stay in front of him and do his thing. So I thought he was really solid, and Andrew Wiggins just continuing to move without the ball, play good defense. He can't make threes, though, right now for some reason. I think his shot's really flat. He doesn't really have any arc on it, and it's very on the line sometimes. It just doesn't have the touch that goes in, But he was 0 for 7 from 3 tonight, but 7 for 16 from the field, just moving well in transition, and obviously moving without the ball. Off screens, cutting, setting screens, doing a little bit of everything. And then, of course, you know what he's been doing on the glass all playoffs long. 3 offensive rebounds tonight, 10 rebounds overall. And while we're on the subject of rebounding, I cannot go without mentioning Kevon Looney. What a series he had. We saw him get more minutes in this series than the others. He played 31 minutes tonight, and again, doing all the little things, setting screens, finishing around the basket. There was even one play where he got the ball at the foul line and drove and went all the way for a right-handed layup on an offensive rebound, I believe. And just the amount of offensive rebounds that he got, 7 of them tonight, 18 rebounds total, 10 points. His ability to switch on to Luka for various possessions in the series. He was just amazing, amazing. You need guys like that to just do their role. And Kevon Looney is the only role player that was a part of the big three, this Warriors run that they've had this last 8 years. And this has been his most impactful run in my eyes. I mean, Warriors fans, you can let me know what you think, but I don't remember Looney having this great of a postseason in 2018 or 17, or even 19. This was amazing, the way he played. Protecting the rim as well, just doing a little bit of everything. 4 assists. But the second half, the Warriors just kind of pulled away. Jordan Poole, as I said, he was great tonight. He had a really solid series, bouncing back off the last couple of games, bad couple of games from the Grizzlies series. He had 16 points on 6 for 8 shooting in the game, 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Just the way the Warriors move the ball, it's just phenomenal. They play the game the right way. Steph Curry, he was 5 for 17, didn't shoot the ball well, but again, just another game where you just got to watch the game to see Curry's impact. I just thought he was just does so much with his movement without the ball. It's just so contagious. He makes the right plays. He makes the right passes. He had 9 assists tonight. And he also tries on defense. He even had a block tonight on Dorian Finney-Smith closing out on a 3. So Steph Curry, I just thought he was really good. But Klay Thompson is my player. Actually, I want to go with Kevon Looney as my player of the game tonight. But Klay Thompson. And by the way, if you're wondering Luka, I want to mention this as well. He looked tired. He looked gassed. He was missing everything, settling for threes, not getting back on defense. And he wasn't really creating the great looks that he was in the previous games. They still got some. They were 17 for 42 from deep tonight, so actually not that bad, 40.5%. But Jalen Brunson didn't really get going. He was 3 for 10. And overall, the Warriors, the Mavs just couldn't defend them tonight. It was just so much going on for the Warrior offense, and couldn't stay in front of the ball, especially Luka. He got blown by so much tonight by Jordan Poole and Steph. So you saw Luka's flaws come out in this series. I don't think he had that great of a series. I think Steph Curry, honestly, I'd give him the nod still as the best player in the series because of the off-ball movement and what it does for his team. I think you can still argue that Luka's better. He can definitely do more with less at this moment in his career. But I'd take Steph right now. It's the ceiling raiser versus floor raiser bullshit, and I'll take the guy that's ready to win chips. I'm not saying Luka's not, but I just like the way Steph plays the game. I think his off-ball movement makes it so that even if he doesn't play well, his teammates have a better chance of playing well. And I know he has better teammates, but it's more than just that. I also think Steph's a better defender right now because he's been there longer and he knows he's improved on his deficiencies, and Luka has time to do that. 10 for 28 from the field for Luka tonight. 3 for 13 from the three-point line. That's a lot of threes, especially when you're not hitting. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers, a couple of bad jump passes. And, Dorian Finney-Smith had 13 on 6 for 10 shooting. What a playoffs that he had, though, Finney-Smith, and Reggie Bullock for that matter. And the Mavericks need to be, happy, and the fans should be happy with the postseason. They beat the Suns. They weren't expected to do that. They just needed to make it out of the first round. They did that and then some. The future's very bright. Now it's up to the offseason. A big one for Dallas. Go out and get a second star for Luka. Not one that's a defensive liability. Probably has to be a better defender than Luka. And then your championship chances are right there with anyone. So a great season for Jason Kidd. I don't really have any harsh feelings about the Mavs, even though we've played them in the playoffs twice. As I always say, we beat them twice. Luka's an amazing player. Had one of the best fourth years of any player ever. He's the best player at this age I've ever seen since LeBron. And him and LeBron are the two best, honestly, in my lifetime. Obviously, I was a little young for Kobe. And yeah, this was 07-esque, but this Warriors team is better than that 07 Pistons team relative to the league especially. And we'll see if the Warriors take it all the way. Maxi Kleber had some decent plays tonight, some nice blocks. Or he had one block, but it was actually really 2. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 for 6 on the field. Spencer Dinwiddie actually played well. He had 26 points on 7 for 12 shooting and 5 for 7 from deep. But as I said, the Mavs, they just couldn't contain the dubs. And Klay Thompson was a big reason because of that. He was awesome. He hit mid-ranges. He was 8 for 16 from deep. And a couple times, the backbreakers, the Mavs made a run. They were down a lot, but they made a run in the fourth quarter and cut it down to 8. But Kevon Looney had 2 offensive rebounds in which Steph and Klay punished him. And what do great teams do when you give them second chance opportunities? They make you pay. And you knew the second it left Klay and Steph's hands, they knew it was going in. I knew it was going in. And that's just the experience just flowing off of them. You can see it. You can see they've been there, done that. They're one of those teams with those kind of tendencies. Experience kills, ladies and gentlemen. Experience kills. The rebounding battle overall, 51 for Golden State and 34 for Dallas. So again, massive disparity. 6 offensive rebounds for Dallas, 14 for the Warriors. No rebounds, no rings. The Mavericks play with Maxi Kleber at the 5 and Dorian Finney-Smith at the 5 because they don't like Dwight Powell. So they also need to go upgrade his center. Dwight Powell only played 7 minutes tonight. He had 1 shot. It was an and 1. He made the free throw, and that was it. It felt like I didn't see him the rest of the night. So they clearly don't trust him. They need to go out and get somebody because they don't have enough size. They get killed on the glass. Maxi Kleber was too small. Dorian Finney-Smith is too small when you got Kevon Looney out there, guys like Andrew Wiggins. And by the way, I haven't mentioned him, but tonight I thought Draymond Green played his best game of the series. All the works, pushing the ball in transition and finding his shooters, looking for guys in the cut, finished well. The fact that he scored 17 points is the most impressive thing. 6 for 7. He went up strong and got a couple of nice contact finishes, hit a corner 3. He was spectacular on both ends of the floor, and he's going back to the finals. Andrew Wiggins, 18 and 10, 7 for 16 shooting, 0 for 7 from deep in 40 minutes. Kevon Looney, 10 points, 18 rebounds, and 4 assists on 5 for 8 shooting, 7 of those offensive rebounds. Steph Curry, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals and a block, only 2 turnovers. And the Warriors did such a better job in this series of taking care of the ball. 5 for 17 shooting, 2 for 7 from deep. Klay Thompson, 32 points, 12 for 25 shooting, 8 for 15 from deep, or 8 for 16, I'm sorry. And Jordan Poole, 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Warriors win it 120-110. They win the series and win the Western Conference 4-1 as the 3 seed. So for the second year in a row, we have a 3 seed in the finals. Milwaukee last year, Golden State this year. I talked about Dallas, but now before I end the episode, I want to talk about the Warriors. Let me get a little drink of water first, ladies and gents. The Warriors. 2 years since they've been here. Actually, 3. There's been a lot that's gone on. Klay Thompson tore his ACL in Game 6 of the 2019 Finals against the Raptors. And you saw A season in 2019-20 where they moved to a new building, Kevin Durant left in the offseason, and you thought to yourself, are the Warriors ever going to win a championship again? They'll still be great without KD, but are they ever going to win a championship again? I said that I don't think Steph Curry will ever win a championship as the best player ever again after KD left. And right now, I could be looking the fool. It's not over yet, though, and I'm rooting for him now, but I could be looking the fool. Steph Curry then proceeds to break his wrist or break his hand in the early parts of the 2020 season and misses the entire year. So then the Warriors basically tank and get James Wiseman in the draft, the second pick after being terrible. We have a pandemic, and the Warriors come back in 2020-21 with Steph Curry, Kelly Oubre. Obviously, they made the trade for Andrew Wiggins right before the pandemic for D'Angelo Russell. They knew they didn't need another score-first guard. They wanted to go out and get wings because they knew that they were depleted after they lost Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant, Sean Livingston. So last year was my first full season doing Dime Dropper. We watched all their games, almost all, at least a good 40 of them. It was an amazing Steph Curry season, MVP caliber, arguably the best player in the world. Draymond Green, he came back and he had a better season than 2020, but still his offensive deficiencies, he couldn't even average 10 points. It was a tough look. No Klay Thompson still for a second year. Everybody thought last year was going to be, the Warriors are going to be back this year. But if you guys remember, obviously, nobody's forgotten because they keep mentioning it as they should. Klay Thompson tore his Achilles after he had just come back from an ACL right before training camp. Or right before preseason. I don't remember if it was right before preseason or right before training camp. What a blow that was. And the Warriors played last season. Curry tried really hard. James Wiseman was injured here a lot in the season. And they didn't even make the playoffs. Lost in those two playing games to the Lakers and the Grizzlies. And then now this year was the finally, when Klay comes back, the Warriors are going to be dangerous season. You saw from the beginning it was a different kind of year. Obviously, they got Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, but we didn't see too much of them in the beginning of the season. It was really the emergence of Jordan Poole that really made the difference. They lost Kelly Oubre, but Jordan Poole was just phenomenal to start the season. They had an easy schedule, but they took advantage of it. And there was just a different mentality for them this season. They were going all in. The fans were back in the Chase Center for the full season for the first time. And they knew Klay was coming back. They got off to a great start. And Klay came back and looked not 100% to his old self. And I still don't think he's as good as he was then, but he's not that much worse. He's kind of like I thought he would be. It's mainly the defense that is not as good as it used to be, but his offense isn't that much different. And, for them to go from it was all year was Phoenix and Golden State where they're going to be in the Western Conference Finals. And as the injuries kind of came in, you saw Draymond get injured. The second Klay came back, and then Steph got injured when Marcus Smart dove and took him out. You thought, the Warriors are obviously slipping below the Grizzlies now. Maybe they just won't have the rhythm going into the playoffs, especially with their best player being out. And Steph Curry came back in game one, came off the bench those first 4 games against Denver, and they slowly found their rhythm. Jordan Poole was phenomenal in his first postseason. Klay Thompson was better than expected, had much more efficient games than I think a lot of people thought he would have, definitely than I thought he would have. Draymond had another really solid postseason after making it back to the All-Star team this season, even though he missed 36 games. Andrew Wiggins, the season of his career, so bought into his role. You could argue he's the second best player on this Warriors team all season, considering he played 70-plus games and he plays on both ends of the floor and guards the best player every night. But really, Steph Curry, a guy that just doesn't, to me, get enough credit from a lot of fans because everybody's so enamored with stats these days, and they don't understand sometimes that less can be more, and that sometimes letting your guys get confident and be on the ball can get them in rhythm. And if you're capable of dominating and scoring a lot and affecting the game with as little touches as possible or as little time on the ball as possible, that is the true way of making everybody around you better. Because not a lot of guys, Jordan Poole would not be Jordan Poole if you stuck him in the corner and made Steph Curry just run pick and rolls and get ready for him to, see what the defense take what the defense gives. He would get shots the defense wants. If they want Jordan Poole to only shoot catch and shoot threes, they could limit that in that situation if they just don't close out hard enough, stuff like that, or sag off to help off Curry and then close out to him. But because of the off-ball movement and the way the Warriors play and Steph Curry's unselfishness, Jordan Poole is allowed to just play his game. And, obviously Klay Thompson helps as well because he's so good off the ball. But I just think Steph Curry just understands rhythm and teammates and what it takes to get the most out of his guys. He has a great attitude. He has great enthusiasm for the game. And this Warriors team, it's also the coach. Shout out to my boy Steve Kerr. A lot of Warriors fans on Twitter have given him a hard time. Part of it's because they just, I don't know, want to find ways to prop Steph up. But to me, Steve Kerr, he gets it done when it comes to the playoffs. He's always thinking a step ahead. He's not thinking about how to get Curry 30 points a game average during the season. He's thinking about the long haul. And he hasn't lost a series in the West in his coaching career. To just let that sink in. He has never lost a series in the West in his coaching career. Klay Thompson has now made it to 6 straight finals in seasons that he's played. Insane. This is an incredible run. It's shades of Chicago in ways with the 2 seasons that they didn't make it, but obviously totally different circumstances. Jordan going to play baseball, but 6 title finals appearances in 8 years. That's the first since the Bulls. It's unbelievable. And now that they don't have KD, they're much more likable again. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm going to have to root for them over Boston because I can't have my friends talking crazy. I don't want the Celtics to get 18 rings. I love the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I like this Celtics team. I don't love the Warriors. They're a Northern California team. But I don't mind if Steph wins another ring. I think he needs to win another ring and get that finals MVP to shut the people up and solidify his status as a top 15, top 12 player of all time. Maybe I don't want to say consensus top 12 because no such thing as consensus, but I have him as a consensus top 15 player if he wins this championship in the finals MVP. Probably projected list around 12th or 13th for me, and would probably be my second point guard of all time. Pretty consensus. So it's a lot riding here for Steph and the Warriors. I also think this is maybe their last chance with this big 3. Steph, Draymond, and Klay. That's just my opinion. It may be. I just think they're slowing down a little bit. But they're right there. They got to get it done. It's just a testament to how great their organization is top to bottom. They just have a winning culture. The way they got Andrew Wiggins to buy in, said, fuck that number 1 pick. Fuck your price tag. Just do what you got to do to help us win a championship. And they're doing it. They're doing it. And Steph Curry leads the way. And if we're really being real, the fact that I can't even tell you who the consensus second best player on this Warriors team is, Draymond, Klay, Poole, Wiggins, you can argue 4 guys are all really in that contention for the 2 spot. But he doesn't have a consensus 2. Which to me just shows how great Steph Curry is. You know what I'm saying? We talk about, this is not a Shaq Kobe situation. It's not a Kareem and Magic. I think Chris Middleton, honestly, last season's Chris Middleton was better than any of these guys. I think Drew Holiday maybe last season was maybe better than any of these guys too. Dare I say Siakam in 2019 may have been better? I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing it there. It's not a Kyrie Irving. I'll tell you that. So I think that this is more of a, you got to give Steph a lot of credit. You can't say he's being carried. You can't say he has this ridiculous team. He has a very good team that he makes better. Simple as. But anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. Congratulations to all my followers that are Warriors fans. I know I got a good amount. You guys are always nice to me. I got a lot of respect for your team. Appreciate y'all for all the support. I want to thank everybody, all my Dime Dropper fans for supporting me through this entire Western Conference. The Warriors are the kings of the West again. After 2-year absence, you got to give it to them. It's incredible that they were able to come back. I didn't think they were going to make the finals this year. No way. Not their first year with Klay back. But I did say there was a chance. And I never doubt Steph. I never doubt Draymond when they're healthy and have the help. And this year they had the help. And you got to give a shout out to all the guys. Looney, Wiggins, Kuminga, Bielitsa, Gary Payton Jr., all of them. Jordan Poole. So congrats to the Warriors. But next year, man, I'm not going to lie, watching that ceremony just made me jealous of my Clippers finally holding up a trophy of some kind. Like, just let us be. That has to be us next year. I want to be outside. Oh, it's not going to be the TNT crew, sadly, next year. But I want to be outside, man, going nuts. Or in the stadium going nuts, seeing us lift any trophy of any kind that's not an individual one. A Western Conference championship, man. just to be on the big stage. It's nothing like the finals. The finals are totally different than the conference finals. Now people that don't even like basketball are going to start watching. And the media, it's just all different. The amount of cameras, it's a different level. So to have the LA Clippers, LA's B team be in the finals would just be such a dream come true. To just lift up any trophy would just be something else. But that's it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate you. I'll probably not be live tomorrow. Follow me on Instagram at DiamondRipperPod. I'll probably be live on that. But until the finals, baby, game 1, we're almost there. Peace out, y'all, and have a great night. Oh, baby. Nice. 21 people or 19 people in the live tonight. Let's see what we got. Kyle's takes. Congrats, my boy. He says, we back. Can't blow this chance. 4 more wins. You're damn right. My boy Ahmad says, hashtag fuck Dallas. Char Goal. By the way, super chats will turn on. If you want to drop $1 a dime for your boy. Char Goal says, Clippers are going to the toilet bowl. Okay. What does that mean? Brandon, when's the last time the Clippers made the finals? You saw my response. When's the last time you got laid? Last night with your sister? Oh, is that before or after I fucked your mother last night? Or the night before, I should say. Kind of a regular occurrence. Kyle's takes says, of course, like always, do a great eulogy for eliminated teams. Thanks, bro. Daniel Clifford says, what's up, Dime? What's up, my boy? Phoenix Plays Z says, what are the odds Miami comes back in the series? 20%. Kyle Lowry had a donut, he says, LOL. And I'm his biggest defender. Brandon, sup, Dime? Love your content. It's great. I still fucked your mother. Phoenix Plays Z says, but man, he looking washed as hell out there. Max Drews had a donut as well. Phoenix Plays Z says, when 2 of your starters are giving you nothing, you're not going to win that game. Facts. Lake Show says, yo, fire, what's up, Lake Show? Phoenix Plays Z says, Jaylen Brown does not have a handle. Yeah, he's kind of sucked with his left hand. I think he does have a handle. He really improved it, but he can get loosey-goosey. Doesn't have great ball protection. He has good moves. Jacory Marsh says, Lowry has always been trash. Okay, let's not lie. Phoenix Plays Z says, disagree, dude was awesome from 2014 to 21. Not 2013-14? Phoenix Plays Z says he's just old, and the hammy isn't helping. 1 for 23 or some shit like that. Pretty sure 1 for 23. Their core is aging rapidly. Lakeshore says he on that Raymond Felton gain. Foil Boomer says 22 Heat or East version of 2022 on Jazz. Both number 1 seeds who died by the 3 were offensively challenged and no dependable secondary scorer. I like the Heat better than the Jazz. I just think they play better basketball. Smarter basketball IQ. Phoenix Plays Z says, I believe current Pascal Siakam is better than Kyle ever was, but Kyle's longevity and what he meant to the franchise is a lot. I feel you on that. I'm with you. I think Siakam is better. They screen illegally a lot, though, as well. You talking about the Warriors? Foil Boomer says, Kyle Lowry got overrated heavily during the 2019-20 season, and due to all the anti-Kawhi propaganda during that season, no one rated him that high before, even after winning the chip. I don't know if I agree with all that. I think he earned it that season. Phoenix Plays Z disagrees. He says, I believe Lowry should have been an all-NBA team that season. He left 253 and 19. Was he better than Siakam that season, though? I don't think so, right? Siakam was an all-star for the first time, but it was, 1A, 1B, right? Lowry had a way better playoffs, though, so maybe you can say Lowry was better that season. I believe Lowry should have been an all-NBA team over DeRozan in 2017 and 18 as well. Interesting. Why? Actually, maybe not 2017. Foil Boomer says, I'm talking about Lowry's overall legacy and ranking as a player. No one ranked him that high before the 2020 Kawhi hate. He got laughed at before and was the last All-Star for a reason. In the East, shitty East, I might remind you. He got laughed at for the wrong reasons. He was falsely scapegoated for DeMar's failures. You're really telling me that fool never failed? This feels like revisionist history, bro. Ty Baller says, what's up? What's up, Ty Baller? Phoenix Plays Z says, just because the media is trying to push a narrative. It wasn't the merit, bro. 2014 and 15, he was, especially 15, he was dog shit. He got absolutely his ass whooped by John Wall. And then 2016, until game 3 against Miami, he was shooting in the Air Canada Center after the game because he was literally broke. I will say this, though. He turned up in game 3 against the Heat, and he played really well in games 5 and 7. So he did play well. And he did okay against the Cavs, too. After that, he wasn't bad. I have to go back and watch 2017 and 18 where he got swept by the Cavs. Jordan Francis says, hey, Dime. What's up, Jordan? Ty Baller says, wait, there was Kawhi hate in 2020? That was the prime of everyone in the NBA fan base and media putting him as one of the, if not the best player on the planet from what I saw. Kyle Stakes says, I forgot about Moses Moody. Forgot about Moses Moody playing so well. Damn it. Bielitsa and Moody was really good today. Fuck. Phoenix Plays Z says Kawhi was being praised, if anything. Kyle's Take says, yeah, there was Kawhi hate. Everyone was proclaiming the best player, but he blew the 3-1 bubble lead and everyone turned on him. Ty Baller says, that's what I was seeing, Phoenix. Even after the bubble, it was a popular point that Kawhi carried the team and most of them folded. Okay, no, it wasn't. Kawhi got destroyed outside of the Clipper fans after the bubble. He got killed. Fuer Boomer says, look at his resume. Minus the chip, his resume is one of the worst out of all franchise players in NBA history and will clearly not be a Hall of Famer if no ring. I mean, I can't really argue with that. Phoenix says, at Fuer Boomer, does he have a ring? Kyle's take says, Looney is having his most impactful run in our squad this year, not just because he elevated his play, but this is also his healthiest season in his career. Yeah, 82 games. Fuer Boomer says, Kawhi got hella late in 2020 before the bubble due to load management. Hella hate, facts. All the LeBron drones were on his ass even before the collapse. That's true. Phoenix Plays E says, at Fuer Boomer, obviously the ring plays a huge role. Otherwise, the argument wouldn't even exist. Facts. That's true. That's my point. He's overrated. You're funny. Ty Baller says, not going to lie, I saw most people still being on his side after he blew the 3-1. Most of the hate came from the it's his city stuff. I don't know, man. He got grilled after the, I don't know. You have to look back on everything because people were shitting on him. Phoenix Plays E says, I thought he was more deserving of all NBA selections. Fuer Boomer disagrees, says. Jordan Francis says, Dime is a great guy. Thanks, bro. You're a great guy. Phoenix Plays E says, that's enough Kyle Lowry talk. Terminator 92 says, I know I've expressed I dislike the Warriors on Twitter, but I can't have the Celtics win their 18th title. Yeah, Laker fans better be getting nervous now, man. This is getting too dangerous. How are we feeling about Steph and KD all time? I always said Steph was better. Always. Oh, no. Always been Steph to me. He needed Steph won without him. Won the championship. It's not just because you had more help. He won. He's better off the ball, and that makes everybody better. Less iso ball, less stagnant. And he's just better passer, and the way he affects momentum is big. Fuer Boomer says, shoulda, coulda, woulda. When it comes to all NBA / all-star selections, fact is his resume is terrible. When it comes to Hall of Fame / top 100 players, ring carries his legacy. Kyle Stakes says, Steph is already higher all time right now. Facts. Phoenix Plays, he says, if Boston does make the finals, I pray to the Lord they don't. But if they do, I need Golden State to win. Kyle's take says the gap becomes bigger if Steph wins. Facts. Terminator 92 says, so I'll root for the Warriors for the time being. I'll be thrilled if Klay wins finals MVP after recovering from a torn ACL and Achilles tendon back-to-back years. Yeah, guys, let's give a hand in the chat for Klay Thompson, man. Coming back from those 2 injuries and playing as well as he did. I love the guy. I remember I told you guys I met him. I've been a fan of his since Washington State because my family has always told me about him and his dad. He was a great guy, man. Great guy, and he deserves this. I'm happy for him. Ty Baller says, Celtics fans winning an 18th title versus Warriors fans winning, seeing Steph get his 4th. Don't know which is going to be more interesting to watch the reaction of. Well, I'm not looking forward to either's reaction. Phoenix Plays, he says, at Fuer Boomer, am I disagreeing that the ring plays a huge part? Yes, it does. But you're acting like he wasn't a perennial All-NBA caliber player. He wasn't a perennial All-NBA caliber player. He was a perennial All-Star. I'll give him that. All-NBA is 3. So if we're actually talking positions, he was never a top 3 point guard, and most of the time he was never even top 5. 2020, I'll give him he was top 5. But 2018, hell, I can go through the years. We can talk about it. Lake Show says Jeremy Grant be good for them. Who? The Mavs? That wouldn't be bad to try. I think that's a great idea, but he doesn't want to, apparently. Kyle Stakes says that'll be epic. Fuer Boomer says PG, Melo, McGrady, Jason Kidd, Nash, those guys are just way better players than Kyle Lowry. Don't even put Kyle Lowry in that conversation. I'll take Melo. Yeah, that's still not a conversation. Kyle's take says, I'll take the Warriors experience. Fuer Boomer says perennial. LOL, that's my point. He wasn't. Phoenix Plays, he says Lowry's as a secondary option will probably get him into the Hall of Fame. You're acting like I'm disagreeing. He was the 3rd option to me when you guys won the ring. In the playoffs, he definitely was. Kyle's take says Looney got 2 offensive rebounds for the Klay 3. That's when we took it home. Phoenix Plays, he says at Fuer Boomer, he was a perennial All-NBA caliber. Okay. Then if that's the case, Mike Conley was too. Fuer Boomer says 6-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, 2nd team. How in the hell is that perennial? That dude would be like 2 to 3-time All-Star only if in West. If that. I don't even know if he would have been All-Star once, for being real, because his team wouldn't have been as good. Terminator 92 says everyone's going to have to step up for the Warriors because the Celtics are very physical. Phoenix Plays, he says, should have made it over DeMar in 2018, but somehow Ben Simmons made it over him as a 6th seed in 2022. But yeah, that's weird. Kyle's take says, talk about the Dubs rebounding this playoffs. How we were able to win the rebound battle versus Memphis, which is supposed to be a weakness leading until today. I think part of it's because they all run out at your shooters, man. They're all responding so much to Clay, Steph, and Jordan Poole that it's leaving guys wide open. Phoenix Plays, he says, at Foot Boomer, did you not read? I'm saying the caliber of player he was. Kyle's take says Wiggs and Looney had the series of their careers. Do you think Wiggins played better in this series or the Memphis? Phoenix Plays, he says he was definitely an all-NBA level player for multiple years at his peak. Sure. Terminator 92 says they're going to have to start Looney because using the death lineup, leaving Draymond alone versus Horford and Rob Williams is a death sentence for them. Looney will be a big impact in the finals. Foil Boomer says perennial caliber makes no difference. He was never all-NBA level for 5 to 10 years. He was never even all-NBA level for 3 years. Ty Baller says Warriors don't play anyone over 6'9", over 15 minutes a game, and still get these many rebounds. Amazing. How tall is Kevon Looney? Foil Boomer says, like I said before, he was a complete joke before that ring. No one respected him and clowned him. Okay, that's a little harsh. Ricky Beaver says the Warriors were just cruising through this regular season. Ty Baller said their tallest player most of the time is Looney or Dre, but still get boards. It's crazy. Phoenix Plays D says, why was he a joke, though? That's my question. Is he responsible for DeMar having a 44% true shooting percentage? I don't know. Say his regular percentage. I don't know. He doesn't even shoot threes. So why are we doing true shooting for DeMar? He doesn't even shoot threes. Well, he shot a 60% true shooting percent. Oh, my God. Kyle's take says the Warriors won 15 games 2 years ago. Epic words from Dre. Yeah, facts. Ricky Beaver says the Warriors clearly are the most talented in the West. I just was unsure about their chemistry. Foya Boomer says what about the Lakers? Foya Boomer says 6-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA is not even close to Hall of Fame territory. If he never got a ring and Raptors were a poverty/historically terrible franchise before him, he would be forgotten. Terminator says, I'm reading Dimes are playing in the beginning. Phoenix Plays Z says, if you're expecting Kyle Lowry himself to be the top 3 player of all time, you have very high standards for him. Just because you say he's a top 3 player of all time doesn't mean that's true, bro. Just saying. Phoenix Plays Z says, but he did get the ring. So weep. Kyle's take says, Clay tore his Achilles on draft day when we got Wiseman. Yeah, it's sad. Web Boomer says, my guy, he scored 0 in his first game with Kawhi against the Magic. I remember that. He was a joke. I was watching from 2015 to 19. No one respected him until the finals. I wouldn't say that. Kyle's takes us from winning 15 games 2019-20 to the 2022 NBA Finals. It's crazy. Foot Boomer says he got swept as the number 1 seed. What are you talking about, man? He was LeBron's son, more known for his fat ass than his play on the court. That is true, bro. You guys had 2 games, 3 and 1 were so winnable. He told me he did everything right. Like, not everything right, but he did everything he could. Not his fault at all. Didn't have some bad plays down the stretch. Didn't miss crucial shots that he always makes down the stretch. Nothing. Terminator 92 says, hot take. If you replace Kyle Lowry with Chris Paul on that 2019 Raptors team, you think the Raptors still beat Golden State? Yes, I do. Foot Boomer, he started with 0 and finished with a near 26-point triple-double in a closeout game. Which one was that? Game 5? Phoenix says 2019 CP3 was cheeks. I still think he could have done it. You're holding Chris Paul to a higher standard than Lowry. Subconsciously. 2020 CP3, then yeah, sure. Wiggins, the most underrated player on the Warriors, says Terminator 92. He's the key to defending Tatum in the playoffs. He will be. Or 2018 CP3. Yeah, that was the last year of his prime, 2018. Fuya Boomer says, of course, Terminator. That team was being mentally carried by Kawhi, CP3, and Lowry. Pre-2019 finals are both playoff chokers. There's levels, bro. Don't compare Lowry to Chris Paul, please. Because I'll actually go to bat for Chris Paul and tell you there's so many levels to this shit. Kyle Lowry could never carry a team like Chris Paul led us in 2016. Never. No chance. And win games the way Chris Paul did against Utah in the playoffs. Phoenix Plays D says, at Fuya Boomer, this is where I have a problem outside of 2015, which was a disgrace. When did Lowry outright choke a playoff series? It's true. You maybe didn't outright choke for a full series. You're right. But I'd have to watch 2017 and 18 again. Terminator 92 says, there's idiots who think the Raptors would still win the 2019 title if DeRozan was still there instead of Kawhi. Okay, those people should not be entertained. Young PSV Dunim, are you a PSV fan? I heard that Jim Park sub dime. All my homies hate Jim Park. What about him? What? All my homies hate. Who are you? Young PSV. I heard that Jim Park sub. What about what sub? Subscription? Kyle's takes us here. You're bottom for this Warriors squad? No, I thought you were for Boston. Nah, man. I'm only rooting for my picks. I don't like the Celtics to win more rings, dude. They've won enough. Phoenix plays says we don't get past Philly. Yeah, he's right. Young PSV Denim says no order. Top 12. Yes, that's exactly my top 12. Exactly. MJ, Russell, Kareem, Magic, Braun, Kobe, Duncan, Bird, Wilt, Shaq, Hakeem, and Steph. Yep. But you can also make a case for the doctor if you count ABA. You got to, to me, you got to count ABA because there was real talent in there. And maybe you don't want to count it equivalent to NBA, but I think I consider it legit. He's playing against real dogs, NBA level teams at the end. So if you're playing against NBA level competition at the end, I can't count it. Lake says, I'll have him between 13 and 15, still behind Zeke. Wow, you're going with Isaiah still over Steph, even if he wins, Lake? Well, Boomer says, that was the difference, Terminator. Both guys were mentally fragile. DeRozan, Lowry / DeFrozen. You need a strong mental guy to win. Phoenix plays, he says, I think they have more years to compete with his current core. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe. I don't know, Phoenix. Draymond Green's going to slow down to me, and so is Clay and Steph. I don't know. We'll see. Compete is one thing. I'm talking about win the championship. Lake Show says, if he wins again after this one, then I'll put him at a Zeke as a second GOAT point guard. Phoenix plays, he says, at Fue Boomer, you still didn't answer my question. When did Lowry choke a series outside of 2015? Ahmad says, for me, Steph will be in the 15 to 20 range if he wins it all. Fue Boomer says, 2018 got swept in embarrassing fashion, and my main point is his individual accolades / legacy is terrible. And he was choking his mind off in Philly 2019, but Kawhi backpacked him. That's kind of true. Phoenix plays, he says, at Fue Boomer, okay, you just exposed yourself. You didn't watch the 2018 Cavs, or you think Lowry was the problem. So Lowry did everything well. It was not his fault. He never won, not one bad game because you guys lost every game. So if your best players don't play well and you lose a game, that's part of why you usually lose. If your best players don't play well against good opposition, you usually don't win playoff games. That's how it goes. So he had 4 solid games. Is that what you're telling me, Fue Boomer? I mean, Phoenix plays E. Scotty Barnes season. Lake Show is laughing. Fue Boomer says, how are you number 1 seed in this perennial player like you claim and can't get one game? Damn. Ahmad said, talk to him, Dime. Kyle's takes us Fire Warriors segment before you hit the live subscribers. Appreciate you, bro. Fue Boomer says, I know DeFrozen was worse and got benched, deservedly so, but Lowry gets blame as well. Lake Show's laughing. My boy Lake Show. Kyle's takes us, who would Laker fans rather root against, Dubs or C's? Okay, first of all, I'm going to make this public service announcement. If you're a Laker fan and you're going to be rooting against Golden State for Boston, you're not a Laker fan. You should be thrown into the freaking Venice canals. Like, you don't deserve to be a Laker fan if you're rooting for the Celtics to win. You're a fool. You're Gen Z. Cuck. Not even a bot. Kevin Francisco says, sup, Dime. What's up, Kevin? Daniel Clifford says, I'm so nervous for next season, but so ready at the same time. Yeah, bro, I know. There's no room for error. If we lose, don't win the championship, it's like we're getting slandered. And deservedly so. There's no room. It's the 3rd year. Everything has to come together. If we get injured again, then we got to talk about if Kawhi and Paul can do this. If they can stay healthy enough to do it. Lakers says, as a diehard Laker fan, I'm not rooting for anyone. Terminator 92 says, fuck the Celtics. ZZ Lake Show, you got to be rooting against Boston. ZZ Vision says, do you agree with my Beal take now? What's your Beal take? That you guys need him? Kyle's take says, haha, just asking. I saw all the memes. Terminator 92 says 2008 was hella painful, especially with Paul Pierce, his wheelchair BS. Phoenix plays, he said, I admitted 2015 was a failure. Kevin Francisco, what was the best season for you to watch, Dime? For the NBA? The whole NBA season? Playoffs? Like, you got to get specific here. Are we talking just regular season, just playoffs, playoffs and season combined, Clippers season? What are we talking? And are we talking? Yeah. It's not poop. Kyle's takes says, speaking of Kawhi, do you remember Dime calling him Quit? Yes. By the way, guys, I may have to take that video down one day, just saying. Because it's going to be hard for me to get within the good graces of the Clippers if that video is my most popular one. But it's never going to be off permanently if you want to see it. I will have ways to, just may need to, give a little to get a little if need be. Just saying. Lake Show, I appreciate you, my guy, for the cuts. Thank you so much. Hey, really appreciate it. You're my boy. Clippers will be a serious threat to win it all next year, and I bet Mr. Weston Lawrence Frank ain't done either with that roster. Looking forward to the competition. Hoping for an LA showdown. I'm hoping for not that, but thank you for everything else. I agree. Kyle's take says Dime calling his own player a quitter shows how much scrutiny Kawhi got in 2020. Terminator 92 says, funny how Kawhi went from most beloved winning with the Raptors in 2019 against the Warriors to most hated the next year to the Clippers after the bubble. I know. Claps props to Clay. Yo, yeah, says, what do the Mavs need to take the next step in your opinion? A second star, a guy that can score, and a better center. If they can get a Ayton, that would be, or Rudy. Rudy would be good, but if they can get Ayton, oh man, it goes to they're a championship contending team to me. But if they can get a guy like a Levine, maybe, I don't know how well Levine can guard in the highest level, but if they can get someone like that, or as Lakeshore said, like a Jeremy Grant, somebody like that, somebody that has to be better defender than Luka though, has to. Best two players don't guard, you're not going to win a championship. Ahmad said he stunk it up in the AAU Cup. He deserved to get destroyed. Yeah, Kawhi. Kyle's takes. But Dime, does a Warrior need to have the series of his life in order to win versus the Seas? Does someone have to pull something of like a 2013 Danny Green? No. Just got to play your game. Floyd Boomer says, Kawhi, my favorite player, but he deserved all the hate. The collapse was atrocious. Lakeshore says, yup, Mavs. What the hell does that mean? Phoenix Plays E says, all NBA isn't just point guards, though, Dime. It's 6 guards, and he was deserving of it over DeMar in 2018. I mean, you watch Raptors games, man. I can't speak on that. If they were the number 1 seed and Lowry played the best, then Lowry played the best. I'm not going to argue with that one. You were the number 1 seed, so I'm not going to argue with that. I will just say this, though. Steph is a guard. He should have been over him. James Harden was the best player in the regular season that year. Russell Westbrook was better than Lowry. Kyrie Irving was better. Like, there's so many better ones, man, to be honest. So that's just 4 off top of my head. What about Damian Lillard? Who played? Oh, yeah, he in the regular season? Definitely was better. Shit. Kyle's take says, and we also had 2018, we still had Klay Thompson, as you said, DeRozan. Kyle's take says, facts. When you witnessed it live, it was so crazy, I tell you. ZZ Vision says, Heat need to get a real number 2. Let Bam be the number 3 guy. Feel you on that. Ty Baller says, maybe do you think you should trade Tyler Hero? Ty Baller says, I haven't heard the name Mike Conley in years. What are you talking about? He was in the playoffs this year. It's been tough for him since leaving Memphis. Yeah, last year he had a really good regular season, though, and a good first round. But Mod said Bam is so timid, it's concerning. Fueb Boomer says, can't even lie, went semi-depressed and went off Twitter for weeks after the bubble. Yeah, me too. Kyle's takes says, the problem was Bam was that number 2 in the bubble. Where did that man go? Fueb Boomer says, I was drinking the Clippers chips all season, even until Game 7. I feel you on that. He vanished into the air, Mod says. Thin air. Ty Baller says, Kyle's takes, trying to play Where's Waldo to spawn him. What? Oh, Bam. Ty Baller says, Looney's around 6'9". Okay, damn, he looks bigger. Kyle's takes says, yep, that's why. I know that Heat need a number 2, but I remember Bam being that number 2. I have no idea. Young PSV to him says, true shooting percentage is point. I know how it's calculated, guys. I just don't know, like, relative to each other, how good one is. It's a lot of math, bro. It's a lot of math. I've never been great at that type of math. Just forgot he's supposed to be the second star. True shooting percentage is basically a point. I know, guys, I understand what it is. But think about it. If you shoot more threes, it's weighted towards you because it accounts that threes are higher or harder. So if you shoot more threes than a guy that only shoots 2s, your true shooting percentage is gonna be higher. That's why I don't fuck. Somebody was saying Maxi Kleber has a better field goal percentage than James Worthy. Bro, what? Because James Worthy didn't shoot 3s like that. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Maxi Kleber has never been. James Worthy has more talent in his fucking pinky toe than Maxi Kleber does. Pain. Ty Baller says, Bam being the second option is no longer something I want the Heat to pursue, and Hero being the spark off the bench is aging terribly as well. Kyle Stakes says, Joel in round 2 and Rob Will in round 3. ZZ Vision says, I'll be asking God to give us Beal for Tyler every night. Ty Baller said they had a bounce back regular season to collapse back into the 2021 form this playoff. Who, the Heat? I think the Heat still had a good playoffs. At this point, that'd be the steal of the centuries. ZZ Vision says, I'd give them 85% of our roster. Kyle's takes. And I'll talk about how Duncan Robinson got the bag and ran. Yeah, man. We got to stop giving the bag to guys that only can shoot. Young PSV to him says, sub equals subliminal diss. You were talking about how people went trashing Cruzzies and Jim Parker's the worst with that. Ah, nice. Are you on Twitter? What's your account? Oh, there we go. Hoops history, my guy. What's good? Yes, sir. Ty Baller says, Kyle's takes. He's halfway to Cancun with that bag. He's been gone for a minute. Jim Park always gets encouraged too much. Ty Baller got the bag and decided to be a full-time podcaster. Absolutely crazy. Yo says, in your opinion, where would you rank Steph as a point guard and or shooter of all time? Steph is the best shooter of all time. Point guard, I can't. Right now, he's top 5. I'd say over Oscar and Jerry because he's the best part of the championship team. Even though the thing is, though, so was Clyde Frazier, and I'd put him over those two because Jerry and Oscar played with fucking Bill Russell against them and Wilt. So it was really hard to win championships. That's the thing. Like, Oscar never got the luck that Steph Curry got in 2015. Like, that's the thing. You need some luck. And he never got that luck. Like, imagine if Bill Russell got hurt or something, or like Sam Jones got hurt. That could have been the difference in the series, but it never happened. I don't know how the Celtics were able to stay healthy every year, man. That's another thing that's underrated about them. Other teams got injured. They never got injured. They had some injury, but they all played through everything. They're freaking monsters. That's why they retired kind of soon. Anyway, point guards, though, I'd say if he wins this chip, though, second for sure after Magic. I'll put him over Isaiah, even though I haven't watched Isaiah's film yet. So, like, I feel bad kind of ranking these guys off not watching on their film yet. Ja'Cory Marshall says, I'm rooting for the Warriors. I love Stephen. I'm a Lakers fan. Yeah, Lakers. They're pissing the bed all season. Phoenix Plays, he says, Lowry can't solo backpack when DeMar is out there missing shots off of being played in a drop. Oh, my God. So just don't give him the ball so much. What are you talking about? Especially against Braun. Oh, my God. Braun and a bunch of average players. Come on, man. You Raptors fans have just low standards sometimes. You guys were the biggest pretenders of this era. You were worse than Lob City. Here's the funny part. If we were in the East, bro, I think we would have actually given LeBron trouble any year. Any year. Like the Heat teams or the fucking Cavs, especially the Cavs. I'm not saying we would have beaten them. We would have given them trouble. We would have kicked your ass, bro. Like, we're being real. Toronto, like, we would have dismantled you guys. Like, Blake Griffin would have dominated. Chris Paul would have destroyed Kyle Lowry. Like, we would have killed you. I don't think you guys would have beaten us. 4-2. 4-2. Max. For real. But, it is what it is, right? Any Lakers fan rooting for the Celtics is just exposing themselves as a LeBron fan, says Web Boomer, or Gen Z bot. Jackie says, what's up, Jackie? Says, I'm not ready for the Curry better than Magic talk on Twitter. Oh, my God. Yeah, neither am I. They're going to start doing it so much. That's another thing. We can't let these guys win. It's like everybody that wants to talk about all time, but they don't know shit about history. It's disappointing. Facts at Web Boomer. Lake Show says, I'm not. It's up to the B-ball gods, G. Whatever happens, happens. Lakers can always come back and win a chip more in future to surpass them. I feel. Kyle Steak says, don't take down the ramp, bro. It's historical gold. Dude, I need to get... What if the Clippers want to come higher? What if the Clippers want to come higher, brother? Foil Boomer says, Lakers and Warriors don't even a single playoff matchup. It's not true. Makes zero sense. Only connections LeBron and Steph. It's not true. They've played each other in the playoffs, but back then, most people in this chat were not even embryos, including myself, and people obviously on Twitter, weren't conceived. Edwin Alvarez says, I'm pretty sure it's just LeBron dick riders who root for the Celtics. I don't know why us Laker fans would hit on the Warriors. We were asked when they were winning titles. That's facts. Kevin Francisco says, NBA regular season for the whole NBA. Okay. Regular season? I think 2016 stands out for me. Even though I didn't really enjoy it from a Clipper perspective. And 2013. 73 wins. Never thought I'd see that. Kobe Bryant's final season, Tim Duncan's final season. Even though we didn't even know it was Tim Duncan's final, it would be Tim Duncan's final year. That was something. San Antonio winning 40 games at home. The West was a war zone, man. You had the Thunder, us. It was really top heavy that year. After that, it dropped off. The Blazers weren't good. But yeah, the Grizzlies were injured. That was a memorable. And then obviously ending with the 3-1 in the 2-3-1 leads blown in the playoffs. Like, I think 2016. And then 2013 was awesome because in LA was a lot of buzz with Dwight Howard coming and Nash coming and another year of Lob City. There's a lot of buzz that season. And obviously we had the Miami Heat winning 27 in a row. Great New York Knicks. The final season of Pearson Garnett. So I like those two. Daniel Clifford says, this is completely off topic, but did you end up? Oh, David, no. Thanks for reminding me, though, because I have to watch it. Lake Show says, I said Jeremy Grant earlier in the live. You asked who Mavs. I said responded Mavs. Oh, okay. Yo says, I really believe the Mavs can win a big one again, to be honest. They have the pieces, just one more big sign. Wish it would have been the Unicorn and Luka, but too bad on all that yet because the Unicorn sucks. Kyle's take says, if you're thinking a Tyler Hero trade, there isn't a better chance than this. Facts. Exactly. Terminator 92 says, I saw some Tekken nerd who claims to be a Laker fan rooting for the Celtics against the Bucks. Not a real Laker fan. ZZ Vision says, if it's at all possible to get Levine, Beal, Mitchell. Oh, Donovan Mitchell. That's another great person to look to. I would escort Tyler to the airport. He exposed himself as a LeBron stan. Phoenix plays this. It accounts for that threes are worth 33%. I understand this, my friend. So then use James Worth's true shooting percentage. Why? He didn't shoot threes. It will take into account that he has low 3-point volume. Oh my God. But if people are shooting, if a guy is shooting 8 threes and made 4 of them, he's going to get his percentage is going to look, his true shooting is going to look better than James Worthy. Yo says, do you think teams could be winning more if they focused on shooting well than shooting threes? What? I don't understand that question. Shooting mid-ranges, you're saying? Fuea Boomer says Lakers and Warriors met each other 7 times total in the past in the playoffs, with the Lakers being 7-0 all time. Yes, one of those was 1969, where the Warriors went up 2-0, winning both games in LA, and the Lakers came back and beat them 4 times in a row. Part of that because Jeff Mullins got injured, and Jeff Mullins was an all-star that year. And he would be an all-star for the next 2 years after that as well. Number 24, really great shooter from Duke. And he got injured in game 3, and he played limited minutes the rest of the series. I don't know if he played all 4. I don't know if he played every game after that. I think he may have missed a game or two, and the Lakers, Jerry West just got off, and they won 4 in a row. Warzone report says the teams aren't bad. The Celtics are just that good. Who said they're bad? Phoenix Plays, he says, James Worthy had a career 56% true shooters, which is amazing relative to his era, which was around 52-53%. Yeah, I feel, what's the point, though? Because he didn't shoot 3. So that's really just combining what? Free throws and thinking to some calculation. Why can't we just use regular field goal percentage? Because most of his shots were 2s. Back then, true shooting percentage didn't exist. So, I don't know why we're going that far. Fuea Boomer says, I meant in the modern era, the Steph era, Lakers, Warriors never face each other, and still Celtics are clearly number 1 enemy to the Lakers. Yu-Gi-Oh! Wind, or Ahmad says, Oscar not getting to play with Maurice Stokes and Mel Daniels really hurt his championship chances with the Royals. Yeah, I didn't know about the Mel Daniels thing till today. That's crazy that he had a chance. Duncan Robinson is still owed for 4 more years, says Kyle's takes. My God. 31 people in the live, damn. Eric S. says, what the F is going on with Duncan? Please, someone let me know. I cannot see Boston win the East. He can't guard. That's what's going on. If he's not making 3, he's not effective. He's a liability. Amon says, I want Duncan off the team now. Duncan Robinson. Phoenix Plays, he says that 2019 Raptors team dismantles any Clippers team. That's facts. I agree with that. Until, though, this season and a healthy 2021, we can talk. But I agree with that. You had Kawhi, though. Different level. ZZ Vision says Gabe Vincent. Fuea Boomer says the worst NBA Finals for Lakers would be Celtics Clippers, not Warriors Celtics. I mean, in some ways, yeah. No hate says, no, that's true. It's not no hate. It's not no hate. Kyle Stakes says, I saw some bronze sexual claim that Duncan Robinson was better than Klay Thompson during the bubble. Oh, my God. My Hoops History says outside of the Cavs, the West had like 4 teams better than the second-best team in the East in pretty much any given year. Yeah, it's facts. You need to figure out a way to get bigger because you know what you're saying, and most of it isn't just for content. It's real ass stuff. So here's you. Hey, thanks, man, bro. We're trying out here. Hey, what can help is comments on every video, retweeting my shit on YouTube, on Twitter, and following me on all platforms. That's how you can start. You know what I'm saying? We're trying. I got ideas. Phoenix Plays, he says, I believe Worthy in this era, his true shooting percentage would actually be better just due to more amount of free throw volume. Probably. Tyler Hero is just Sue Bird with a dribble drive. I don't think he can pass like Sue Bird. Kyle's Take says, for real, my cousin also called Duncan Clay on steroids. Oh my God. I remember bro saying Duncan Robinson would be better than Clay. Oh my God. Eric S. Would you take Levine over PG right now? No. What? You think KD regrets leaving the Warriors? Jesus says maybe. Maybe. I don't know. He seems to like Brooklyn. I don't think he cares about winning rings as much as you think. Armand says true shooting percentage is garbage when analyzing old players. Yeah, I agree. Foil Boomer says even if KD stayed in Golden State Warriors wins, he would never get the credit he believes he deserves. One ring outside of Golden State is greater than all Golden State rings. I agree with that, honestly. He had to leave. The reason true shooting percentage exists, it basically shows how many points per possession you generate. So if you had a 56% true shooting percentage, generating 1.12 points per shot. All right. I don't know, man. Eric S. says, imagine Katie sitting at home seeing the Warriors win by replacing him with Jordan Poole and Wiggins. Facts. Damon Carter says, Warriors versus Clippers Western Conference Finals next year. Warriors fan. That'd be cool, but I just don't want all the Bay Area fans coming to LA and the Steph fanboys. Get the likes up. It's free. Yes. That would be fire. I think KD let the media get to his head. Absolutely did. Jesus. Kyle Stakes. It would be us versus Dime. ZZ Vision says, where does a Bam, Beal, Jimmy 3 rank in the East next season? I mean, it could be as number 1 again. Phoenix plays East. Steph Curry has a 61% true shooting percentage, meaning every time he attempts a shot, 1.22 per shot attempt, it's just field goal percentage way more context from the shot diet you take. I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but they don't need to talk about shot diet in the 80s when they're shooting 90% twos. You feel me? That's my point. I would watch Ben Taylor's vid. It explains it better than me. I mean, dude, I understand everything you're saying. Yo says TikTok, Facebook, and all that could really build you up. Facebook is not in this era. Not anymore. I really want you to get big because you actually know your shit. No, for sure. TikTok more so than Facebook. But anyway. Ooh. Any last words, gentlemen? 27 of you. I really appreciate it. But free throws would impact it as well. It isn't just 3-point volume. Yeah, but why at this point are we just not looking at free throw percentage and field goal percentage? You know, 2 free throws is equivalent to a layup. Field goal percentage doesn't show that. I understand because it's a different shot. Field goal percentage is in the middle of play, not on a dead ball. W stream 30 in the live dime. Appreciate you. Celtics versus Warriors. Who do you think takes it? Asking the tough questions now. I'm going to go with who has home court. That's my question. You definitely don't want us Bay Area fans at Staples. Went to a Warriors Clippers a couple years back. We had Warrior chants going. Yeah, in 2019 because all the fans jumped on the bandwagon. Sneak peek to next season. Kyle's Take says, ZZ Vision says, man, I got to watch the Heat tomorrow. Warriors in 7 says Terminator 92. I think it's better to just use true shooting percentage, combines everything into 2-point percentage. Even for the 60s. Have you been to the Staples Center with a bunch of Dubs? Have you been in the Staples Center with a bunch of Dubs fans? No, I went in 2014. It was like 25% Dubs fans, 30 at the most. Warriors have home court, Dime. Okay. Warriors have home court. Warriors in 7. Experience. Draymond said they're going to face Boston. Imagine Miami comes back. LOL. Warriors home court, better record. I'm taking Dubs in 6. I'm going 7. Even though I said Celtics are going to win the championship after they beat Milwaukee. But I'm low-key going with the experience, the way the Warriors are playing right now. Home court or not, who you got, Dime? I just told you. Football versus Warriors in 6. Everybody going with Warriors. Dubs in 6. Wow, everybody's going with Warriors. All right. Who's finals MVP? Curry. Gotta happen. Gotta happen for his legacy. It doesn't need to happen, but it should because the people are going to hold it against him. Damon Carter says, I got Warriors in 6, maybe 5. Okay, no. You ever been up here to the Bay? Oracle used to go crazy, bro. Chase Internet ain't the same yet. I know it sucks. I've been once. Imagine Wiggins win finals MVP. I could see it, but Golden State in 7. Agree. I'm just saying that'd be nice to have a game 7 in the finals again. It's been a couple years. It's been 6 years. I'm just saying, Dime, C's have some occasions showing experience like game 5 versus Buck. That's why I'm picking you. if it's that matchup. All right, gentlemen, have a great Memorial weekend. Stay safe. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be fun. And we got finals recaps coming up in the offseason. I better not see you guys go away in the offseason this year, though. We lost a lot of views, and that's part of why we didn't have as many views this season is because everybody went away in the offseason. Part of that's on me. I started simping, and I didn't put out as much content as I needed to. This summer, we're going to put out so much content. We're going to have a lot of guests. We're going to have a good amount of episodes. The timeline will be in full force, so get ready. Looney winning finals MVP would be poetic since I think he deserved it in the Western Conference Finals. No, it wouldn't, man. Steph needs to win finals MVP. I want to see Curry win just to see Skip cry. Good night. W Live Dime. Hey, yo, guys, make sure to comment on the video after I end. Only 3 of you guys always do it. The second I end it, comments. Like, sub, comment. Later, you don't even be commenting, my guy. Later time. We need the algorithm working with us. Facts. All right, bro. Appreciate you, Kyle's takes. Everybody, comment on the video when it's done. Bulls fans say the same thing comparing United Center to Chicago. 2 years, yes, sir. And counting. Damon Carter says, only reason I said maybe 5 is because Tatum inconsistency at the time. Can't have that in finals against Warriors. If Celtics win, their playoff run's pretty insane, Foy Boomer. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Smoke up and enjoy the games time. Yes, sir. Probably taking a tea break this weekend, though. Peace.